Life on Earth is changing. We are moving into the new Earth energy, into this 5D energy. A lot is happening, and the thing that keeps coming through for me and that I think is important, I was just doing like a little meditation to see what should come through today, but the message that keeps coming through is like you have to choose to live, and it's not just like be alive, but to live. And that choice, that part of it is really important too, because we have our free will, and so we get to choose everything that we want. And to choose to fully live, to truly live, to live in alignment with your soul, that is using a definite system, your free will. And right now, as we're shifting into this new earth energy, a lot of people, a lot of souls seem to be leaving earth. I've noticed that in my circle and circle outside of that, just that people that you wouldn't expect are choosing to leave at a rapid rate. And I don't think that that means like everyone's gonna die or anything, but I had, sorry if that's loud, someone's doing some drilling or cutting or something, but the other day when I was driving here in France to go to Mary Magdalene's cave that she used to live in. So Mary Magdalene was Jesus's wife, some believe, and she lived in a cave for a long time. And so we were driving there. I hope that that's not too loud. Maybe I could turn it down in like fancy editing or something. But we're driving there, and it is a windy road, and it is not really the best for my van. So I have a van here in France, and I'm living in it, traveling in it, and I was like, wow, this is really scary. And then there was also like storm coming, and I had just drove through with my mom a storm before that, and it was like lightning, hail, and then there was like a double rainbow, and like just such heavy rain after the hail, and it was so crazy. And you could just see this dark cloud that was over us for miles and miles. And so I was seeing this storm that was about to start as we're going up this windy road to get to this cave. And then I was like, you know what? Like, I think we're meant to turn around. Like, the rain starts in like 30 minutes, an hour. The sun's going down soon. Like, driving down this road kind of feels like a death sentence if we do that. So I was like, angels, guides, what's the message here? And as random as it was, the way that it was coming through was you have to choose to live. Like, if your soul wanted to leave, you could leave in a situation like this or in another situation. It was just a reminder how easy it is to not be here. So it's like, why are we here? And what are we living for? And how are you fulfilling your soul's purpose? And when you are living in alignment with your soul's purpose, with what feels like joy to you, fulfilling to you, only you, then you're helping the planet move into this 5D energy. 5D energy is just love and acceptance. It's love and acceptance of who you are, of who others are. And when you love and accept yourself, you choose what you want to do. You choose who you want to be. And so how can we choose that? And how can we let go of the rest? And so as I've been choosing that, and really working on choosing only what my soul wants, choosing the life that my soul wants, the activities, the everything that my soul wants, the diet, other things come up. I've talked about this too. It's like other things come up too to give you a new perspective as well on like how you used to see things, why you were the way that you were, why you went through the things that you went through. And you get to choose if you give those things meaning anymore, or the same meaning, if you attach to those things, if you beg for answers from that, or if you beg for an apology from that, or if you beg, none of that matters. If you can just love and accept that, all of that, and let it go, and just choose the path where you are in your most love and acceptance self, then you're transitioning into this new earth energy. Then you're compatible, and you can choose, like, I choose to be compatible for the 5D energy. I choose to be in my most optimal self, most aligned self with my love, health, happiness, joy, abundance, and move towards that. And then whenever you see something that's not in alignment with that, move through that. Move through that by letting go of attachment, letting go of importance, seeing the illusion, seeing the unconscious that made you believe it was something else. In quantum physics and in like the book Reality Transurfing, it talks about like when you choose that thing, that outcome that will fulfill all your things that you desire, like fulfill the home that you want, the place you want to live, the relationship that you want, you know, the health that you want. If there's like one thing at the top of that would then trickle down into you being able to have all that, you choose that, you will move towards it. And the what determines how quickly you move towards that is how much or how quickly you can let go of attachment to the things that come up that try to keep you on the old timeline. So that's talking about jumping timelines into this new timeline. And it can be much quicker, especially when we work with the new earth energy, when we work with this 5D love and acceptance. When you love and accept all the things that are coming up that aren't in alignment with what you know to be true, then you get to move freely to the new timeline. And sometimes it can be so scary. Sometimes it feels like you're up against a wall. Like it feels like, you know, like how on earth could I be moving to the timeline that I choose when this is what I perceive to be my reality? But that this could be the quickest route to that destination. And you just have to trust that. You have to trust that you're never alone. That's something that also keeps coming through, is like you are never alone. Like even if you cut out the toxic people in your life, you let go of all the things in your life that are like just taking up space, you leave that job, you move, you do the thing, you make the crazy change. You are never alone. You're never not guided. You are never going to run out. You know, you're not going to fall. You're not going to suffer. You're going to be supported. You have a divine team. You have angels and guides who are assigned to you for your whole life. And so when you can get into that space of trusting the process, life becomes more of a fluid dance, and you get to jump these timelines much quicker. And then you get to step into a new reality and leave the matrix, right? In the matrix, we are just so conditioned. Like that's one of my favorite things to focus on, is conditioning, is because we, you know, we're raised and we're taught about ourselves. We're taught about the things that make us us. You know, she's like this. She's shy. She doesn't like these kinds of foods. And then you believe these things, even if you're like, that's not really me, but you start to believe them. You're starting to be conditioned. You're conditioned to think that, you know, money is scarce, or money is bad, or, you know, buying food at the grocery store is stressful because maybe your parents were struggling growing up. And so every time you go to pay, you're like, oh. And so it takes deconditioning, but also rewiring. And how do we rewire? We focus on the concept of neurons that fire together, wire together. And so like, say you were to go to do the thing that used to be conditioned within you, like, for example, paying for groceries, and it's like very stressful because of what you saw and experienced as a child. When you go to pay, think of the thing that feels most expansive. Like what feels like so expansive and abundant and joyful. Like maybe it's like being on a hike and you can just like see out, like you were on the most beautiful hike of your life and you just see out forever, and you're like, wow, like there's an abundance of space here. And just focus on that image in your mind when you go to swipe your card at the grocery store. And so that's how we fire new neurons together. That's how we rewire. That's how we decondition. That's how we allow ourselves to stop giving the old importance to things that were keeping us in that old timeline, that old earth energy, that controlled, conditioned place. And we move towards this new horizon. So that's what I'm focusing on right now as well. I am here in France, and like I said, and as I've been talking about as well, van life, I love it. I'm so glad that I'm doing it, but it's challenging. And so I keep reminding myself too, because I used to live on boats, lived on a boat for a year and worked on other boats too. So I worked on yachts, and that was always like, you know, that's the norm. It's like things are always breaking. So I was used to that. So I keep reminding myself, like in that lifestyle, on boats, in a van, things do break and things do need to be repaired. And so just being on my own too, I think like seeing things, especially like seeing mold, which I've talked about, mold is like part of my health journey that got me really sick, triggered Lyme disease, and it was like this whole thing. And so I've been finding that different like humidity issues in the van, like ventilation issues, and just places I found mold under the bed where the water pump is. And so like there's things that I have to do to fix that. And then the fear comes up, and it's all this old stuff, right? This old stuff that was controlling my life before. And so it's all happening for me, you know, but there's that overwhelm, that fear, that wanting to quit, that wanting to leave, that wanting to go back to what things were before, even though, you know, when I was at things before, I wanted to move forward. And so I think for me, and the reason why I'm sharing this is because as I see all this, the conscious part of myself just says, take it step by step, move through this. Don't let the fear control you. As soon as you let go and accept the part of you that feels fear, you know, validate that part that got really sick and everything, but then also choose that like this is easy, that there is a solution. And then as you alchemize that, then the solutions come up. You know, I'll find out how to better ventilate the van, I'll do the research that I need for, you know, whatever else I need to do, fixing the electrical, finding the right electrician, blah blah blah. And so just moving through life without attachment. I love the quote, if you can't fix it, or if you can fix it, why worry? If you can't fix it, why worry? It's like, why add that extra stress? And I guess also I just want to share this too, is like, notice how you're breathing throughout the day. Like, are you sighing? Are you not like really taking deep breaths? Are you having like rapid breathing? Are you like, what are you telling your body? So that's something that I want to get into a little bit more in the coming videos. So my mom leaves tomorrow. I'm headed to Italy tomorrow, and I'm going to be staying on a horse farm. And on that horse farm, I'll be able to ride the horses. There's other van lifers. There's like a rescue dog area. I think that all the horses are rescues too, pretty sure. So I'm really excited. But while I'm there, I'll get to like kind of decompress from all the stuff the past few weeks, which has been tough. And I really want to get back into my breathwork certification, because I feel like breathing, it's so simple, but I've done some breathwork ceremonies, did one in Bali that was just like, it was like doing hallucinogens. Like, it was so intense, but there is so much medicine in focusing on how you are breathing. How are you breathing like when things get stressful? If you come back to your breath, you also alchemize that situation in a way, because you're coming back to the present. You're seeing the unconscious and you're being in the present. When you're focusing on your breath, you are focusing on being the awareness. And when you are the awareness, you are in the truth of who you are. Abraham Hicks always talks about meditating for 15 minutes a day, or when things get stressful, you know, going to take a nap or meditating then, because that changes the momentum. Our momentum is going to pick up either way, like in the way that we don't desire, the way that is alignment with like things that we don't want, or the momentum will go in the direction of things that we do want. You know, if we just keep noticing things of like, wow, I'm so lucky, wow, I'm so abundant, wow, blah, 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 then we're building momentum that way. But how do we reel it back? We have to get into that present place. So through meditation or through feeling the love and acceptance, because both of those are the truth, right? And so that's the message. There was a lot in that. So if you would like some guidance on your journey with some coaching, health coaching, life coaching, spiritual coaching, I do have one-on-one sessions that I am offering now, which is new for me to be doing again. And so you can book that in the link below. I have a 6-month program too, where we meet bi-weekly. And so we'll do bi-weekly sessions for 6 weeks, so 12 sessions total. And we will focus on, like in the beginning, we talk about like what you really want to work on in your life. And then we, in that time, focus on that. And I help you decondition and see maybe things that you're moving through, so that you can really get like another set of eyes on it and some feedback and just a mirror to help you truly move through all that and get into the new desired timeline. And then I also have a session or offer where it is for you to meet your divine team. And so meeting your divine team would look like me guiding you through a session of, you know, getting centered, my process of calling forward my divine team and starting to know them, starting to see who the guides are in your life at this time. We have different guides who are coming through at different times in our life. We have angels who are with us our entire life to keep us on earth. We have other angels who are maybe here whenever we call on them. And so you can start to identify them. They don't normally have names, but you can give them names. Like my guides, I have names that I feel like resonates with the frequency and the energy and the way that I see them. And so it's going to be different for you. Maybe you feel them, maybe you see them, maybe you hear them. And so my intention with that session is just to help you and guide you into identifying them so that you can call on them whenever you want for more guidance from within. So those are my offers, and if you'd like to book, you can go ahead and click below, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. Bye.